Hey guys, I am in Vietnam, Cat Ba Island, Halong Bay, my hotel room, which is $5 a night. I get 2 beds. How exciting. I get to switch beds back and forth whenever I want. But I'm doing it from my hotel room because this is a little bit of a personal story, so why not do it in the comfort of my right now home. So I'm Liana and I am doing a bounce around the world trip. I have been going for about 8 months and I am not sure when I'm coming back. I keep telling everybody every couple months. But I think I'm just gonna let my pockets decide. And the point of this video is all the tons of questions I've had on how I can fund my trip. So I'm gonna share this story with you guys. Just be patient with me because I'm going to look down at my notes a lot. This is why I don't put out a lot of videos, because I try to memorize them for you guys. So, how can I afford all this? This is my personal story. Remember, everybody has a different life, has been dealt a different deck of cards, made decisions or taken paths differently in life. Maybe some good ones, maybe not some good ones, but the best thing about that is that you have the ability to change your circumstance. I don't care what you say, you do. You definitely do. And now that being said, of course, when you're tied down by commitments, it may not be easy for you to just get up and go and travel the world, and that is not the only thing I'm talking about here. I am talking about any major goals that you have in your life. Those are huge goals too, and you could go out and get those as well. I hear about them all the time. I see you guys post about them. My friends tell me about them, and I always say the same thing. Go do it, because it can be done, and I believe that they can. And it may be harder, 3 times harder for you, depending on your circumstance, than for the next guy to meet whatever goal he wants to or she wants to meet. But just remember, it takes work and dedication from both situations, and that's got to happen. It's got to be there. And go look at the thousands of people who have come up from nothing and from similar circumstances. They were told that they're stupid, they had learning disabilities, they were fired, they were told that they were never going to make it, that they're not good enough for this or for that. They were broke or homeless. They were single mothers living in poverty. Some of these people are Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, Halle Berry, Jennifer Lopez, Oprah Winfrey, Sylvester Stallone, J.K. Rowling, and she was a single broke mother, Abraham Lincoln, and Thomas Edison. The list goes on and on and on. Go look them up for some inspiration. So really, there is no excuse. Go out there and get whatever it is that you want in life. And when I talk about these motivational things, remember, I'm not just talking about traveling. I'm not just talking about saving money. I know I'm talking about that right now, but it applies to anything in your life. Travel, goal, releasing and healing from your past, career, a degree goal, nailing that job, a new car, paying off your mortgage, paying off your debts, paying off your loans, making the team, passing that important test, winning the competition. They're all goals, and you can make them happen. Put the work behind it, focus, dedication. Just know that there's going to be obstacles, especially if you're that person where your circumstance is going to make it 3 times harder for you. So I am purely using my life savings for this trip. I am not working right now. I do not come from wealth, definitely not rich. I've never been funded by the parents, and I have saved since I was a wee little girl. And I'm going to give you some tips in part 2 and 3 on how to save before and how to save during your extended travels. So as far as my story, simply, I can get up and go because I have no major commitments. Such as mortgage, I wasn't in a relationship, no kids, I rented a room, owned an old paid off car, and owned a small mobile massage business. Like I said, I saved since I was a wee little girl. I remember selling lemonade at my neighbor's stand in Michigan, saving my $5 weekly allowance, serving soda and coffee on a tray for my parents' parties with a little tip cup on it. All my birthday cards, holiday cards, my quinceañera, saved all the money from that. Even remember when my parents gave me the option to keep the money for my class high school ring. What do you think I did? Yep, kept the money. And the other day I remember my sister telling me that, I don't remember this though. I remember doing choreography dances when we were younger for my parents' parties. That was always a lot of fun, but she said I used to put a tip cup out. I don't know. So there's another way I made money as a kid. And then I remember even when I was 11, going to Colombia, and I was saving my money, and that's when the big money savings started happening. I saved my first 100, so that was the big saving. And I remember telling my mom, I need this all in singles, so I could feel like I had a lot more money. And then in later years, I continued down that same path. I would walk to work or bicycle almost every day to my first job in Arby's, and I refused to get my car or my license for that matter until I was close to my goal. And my parents were so proud of me that they ended up helping me out and cushioning me with a little bit more money. Shortly after, I paid off that car like really quickly, and I continued to live with that same mentality up until a few years ago when I relaxed on some of the more intense saving. I've never really been a big spender though, unless it was gifts for my family, for my loved ones. While most girls my age were spending freely, I never overspent on myself, never had to have the best of the best or name brands. I was never into material things. I wore the same clothes for years, still do. Didn't blow money on hair, nails, makeup, new outfits every week, or on partying. I never really cared to. To me, it was more important to hit bigger goals like having my car and student loan paid off, or even buying my motorcycle when I thought it was super cool. I bought it cash, and now I'm thinking I'm super cool again because I think I want another one once they're fun. Now I've been going on all these scooters and seeing how much gas I save, and don't tell my parents. So we might do that again when I get back, especially if my car doesn't turn on. So although extreme at times with my savings, when I really wanted something, I would make it a goal and then I would go out and buy it for myself. Although, if I had to pick a time that I would tweak, it would be dropping my dance teams, high school activities, and the big one would be not finishing my basic college to start working at 15 years old and saving money. But I will say I'm totally okay with it now because first of all, I found dance, different kind of dance that I was doing, Latin dancing, but I absolutely love it and I am in love with it and it is part of my roots. So I'm going to continue that. Second, I ended up getting a vocational and getting my massage license and having my own small business, massage business that allows me the flexibility and the freedom to do what I want when I want. And also the 14 years that I've worked at the restaurant, with the relationships I have built with coworkers and managers, I was able to take longer vacation travel than most US jobs and careers even give you. I was getting like 3 weeks off at a time, back to back to back. I'm super grateful for that. And then they also would allow me to go to school to get my massage license. And when I started practicing and had my business, they gave me the days that I needed to work my business. And I am super grateful for all that. And let's be super clear. The biggest opportunity I'm grateful for is the teen years, living rent-free at my parents' house. I took full advantage of the wonderful opportunity they gave us, and I know plenty of people who have had the same exact opportunity but decided not to use it or to choose different paths in life. So please, if you have this opportunity, use it, or if you can give your kids this opportunity, stress to them to use it to better themselves. So I moved out for a few years, but right around when my relationship was ending, I ended up going back home and living there again, and that's where I was up until where I left for this trip. And of course not rent-free this time, but definitely paying peanuts monthly for rent. And why not? If you know Colombian parents, they never want you to leave. You can stay there until you're like 50 and they just want to help you out. Plus, I didn't have any kids or anybody special in my life, so why not, right? Even though it gets really stressful at times, it's still worth it. So the saving continued, and not for something in particular. All I know is that a nest egg has always been a big deal to me. My money was my security blanket for the present time and for the retirement years to come. Also something I could dip into easily if there was an emergency within myself or to help out family, and it actually has helped out a few that I do call my family. So, nest egg, it's a responsibility to take care of myself, isn't it? Not anybody else's. I've never made a ton of money. I was just really good at saving, not spending, and have a really strong work ethic. I worked multiple jobs at once and always looked for extra ways to make an income by small investments, making or selling items, or what have you. So about 2 years ago, I set a monetary goal so big that I almost shit myself when I hit this goal. I said, I am going to make this much money, I'm going to save this much money in 1 year. And when I hit that goal, I am going to do something big. I didn't know what it was that I was going to do. I know that I have always wanted to travel the world, travel bigger than I was traveling before, do an investment and buy a home, and or start like a business. So I decided to choose this one. Obviously, here I am. This is probably the best one to do first before I get all settled down. And now, you know, it was a huge fear to lose something that I gave up so much for and worked so hard for, but now I'm able to let go of it so extremely because I know the value of this world trip dream of mine far exceeds the cost and the costs of what I may have to deal with when I go home. The worry is still in the back of my mind, but I know after all is said and done, I will be more than all right. I naturally have that entrepreneur, hustler mentality and a super work ethic behind it. I am never above any means of making a legal income, so I will be more than fine. And this is something I have to tell myself every time that nasty little thought tries to creep into my brain, or I have to yell at myself. But that's it. That is my story. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you didn't mind me looking down 14 million times. Anyway, live your life.